What up, fam? Do you need some extra tools that's going to help your life be the best that it can possibly be? Are you constantly juggling work, family, and personal time only to feel drained and unfulfilled? That's where the book that I wrote called The Balanced Life can be your guide to reclaiming your time, energy, and happiness with practical strategies for setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and achieving real balance. This book helps you create a life that you love without the burnout. Get ready to break free from the chaos and step into a life of purpose and peace. Grab your copy of The Balanced Life because you deserve a life that works for you. Also, we have The Unraveling. It's a journal to help you write, reflect, and heal. Your thoughts matter. Your feelings deserve space. The Unraveling Journal is more than just a notebook. It's your personal guide to self-reflection, healing, and growth. With guided prompts, mindfulness exercises, and room to express yourself freely, this journal helps you untangle emotions, process life's challenges, and rediscover clarity. Take a moment for you. Write, reflect, and heal, one page at a time. And fam, also another book written by my wife is Healthy Relationships. Because fam, you know this. Great relationships don't just happen. They're built. Whether it's with your partner, kids, friends, or coworkers, strong connections are the foundation of a happy life. In healthy relationships, you'll learn how to communicate better, set healthy boundaries, and nurture trust in every relationship that matters to you. Because when your connections thrive, you thrive. Start building stronger, healthier relationships today. Click on the link below and order your copy. Fam, we want you to be the best version of yourself. Get one of these books today. God bless. Fam, if we ain't attacking people, we're attacking problems and making sure we get solutions without tearing the other person down. I say what up, I say what up, I say what up, family. Yeah. This is the Bacon Bits Podcast. Yes, indeed. We desire for you to grow to be all that God has intended for you to be. Man, you know what our podcast does. It informs you, it enlightens you, and enriches you. Yes, I'm changing up the beginning because I want y'all to get this, man. I want you to have your best life. And I'm a firm believer that balance is a huge key to that. And you know, at the beginning of every one of my podcasts, there's always these 5 words. I want you to say them out loud. Please say valuable information applied equals success. And what we're going to be talking about today is healthy boundaries. Healthy ones. The line that protects, not push away. We got to understand that about boundaries. Fam, boundaries are not restrictions, man. They really aren't. Boundaries are not walls. They're not. They don't hinder you. They should be guidelines to protect you. They don't want to control people. Yeah. What your boundaries are supposed to do is protect your purpose, your peace, and your progress. That's what your boundaries should do. They don't exist to control people. Boundaries don't do that. Boundaries are meant to protect your purpose, your peace, and your progress. A lot of us struggle with boundaries because we think having them makes us selfish, mean, and unloving. No, they don't. But the truth is this: people without boundaries don't love better, they burn out faster. People without boundaries don't love better, they burn out faster. Why is that? Because if I'm a people pleaser, notice I'm trying to please everybody. And in the process of pleasing everybody, what is happening to me? I'm burning out faster because I'm not being true to me. But when I put restrictions on, I need this part for me. You'll get a better version of me if I do this thing for me. There's a reason why when we do these podcasts, man, I come back and I'm like, man, this didn't happen on the vacation. This didn't happen at the new job. This didn't happen. Fam, those boundaries free me up to be able to do what it is that God gifted me to do. And I am grateful for that. But I don't want to burn out. I want to burn bright. Don't get me wrong on that. I want to burn bright like God designed for me. He says I'm a light, and I'm going to put my light up on the hill so people can see it, not to show off, but to give people hope that guess what? There's better things in life. What did God make me? God made me salt. Salt is supposed to preserve, and salt is supposed to bring out the flavor of whatever it's in. So part of me helping people preserve their life is by putting up what? Boundaries. Part of me helping bring out the best in them is you got to put up boundaries. Boundaries are a blessing to you if you could only see them for what they were. They let you become the best version of you can, and beside the boundaries. I told you, any sporting event you play in, there's a such thing as out of bounds. Why is that? Because, man, if I could play around the whole earth playing football, fam, we playing football. The stadium is in Paris, and I'm over there playing in Australia. Come on now. The boundaries is that court. The boundaries is that field. The boundaries is to help protect you so you can be the best version of yourself within inside those boundaries. So today I want to talk and walk with you through 9 practical principles for building healthy, God-honoring boundaries that actually work in real life. So when you talk about boundaries, it won't be limited to just like say healthy boundaries for relationships or just healthy boundaries. We want it to be truly healthy boundaries for your life all the way around. So number 1, be present. Healthy boundaries start with your presence. Remember, one of my big factors is, fam, we ain't gonna worry about the past and we ain't gonna have anxiety about the future. We're going to be in this present moment and enjoy it for all of what it is, because we can't get it back. You can't set a boundary if you're emotionally checked out. You cannot. Being present means you're not reacting from assumptions, past wounds, or distractions. You're actually aware of what's happening right now. You're listening, observing, and responding, not just surviving the moment. We want to enjoy that moment, man. We want to listen to what's going on in that moment. We want to be very observant. Watch the people that's around you. Check out the environment, man. And you want to respond to what's going on in the moment, not from past hurt, but what's going on in the moment, not from future stress and anxiety. No, we want to respond to what's going on in the moment. Boundaries require clarity, and clarity requires presence. Okay? Boundaries require clarity. You have to have very clear boundaries of what it is that you're trying to accomplish or what you want to do. And then that requires presence, being right there in the moment. So being present is huge. Number 2, be clear about you and the other person or the project you're working on. Boundaries aren't about fixing them. They're about understanding you. What is your role in this relationship or this project? Because if I'm working on a project, I guess what, I can't work on this project by myself. So what's your role? What is their role? Do you clearly know what their role is? Because sometimes we be wanting more from people than guess what we have actually asked them to be. We want more, but we didn't tell them we want more. We didn't tell them what we were expecting from the relationship or their contribution to the project we're working on. What belongs to you and what doesn't belong to you? When roles aren't clear, resentment grows. But when expectations are defined, people breathe easier. Expectations defined. What is defined and what are you expecting from this person? Have you told them that's what you're expecting? If that's not clear, fam, we be expecting, like I said, we'll go off on our minds. I'm just looking at my wonderful producer. She should be able to read my mind. How many people say that all the time, and especially in relationships? They should know me by now. Fam, you don't know you by now. So how in the hell is they going to know you by now? You ain't figured you out. How they going to figure you out? So we got to clearly understand what we're expecting from this other person, ourselves, and what this project we're working on. And like we said, let's go into that with number 3. You should clarify your problem. So clarify the problem, not the person. Clarify the problem. What's the problem? You can't set a healthy boundary around a problem you haven't clearly identified. So simple questions, because I'm big on questions now. Is the issue time? Is the issue that we having right now, is it time? Is we spending enough time with each other? Is we spending enough time on the project? What's the boundary? Is we putting enough time in? Is we putting enough time into our studies? If we put enough time into the relationship, is the issue time? Let's figure that out. Let's clarify the problem. Is it communication? Communication is big. Are we saying the same thing, even though we actually ain't saying the same thing? That happens a lot. Are you saying the same thing, but you're not saying the same thing? You're trying to solve the same problem, and y'all both saying the same thing to solve the problem, but it's just the way you're wording it is different. So we got to watch out for the communication. Is it respect? Is if people, especially brothers, men won't respect like a champ. They won't love. Part of the love is the respect. So is respect the issue? The person that feels respected, and I understand that's with women too. Yeah, what's the respect? Is the person getting respect in the relationship of whatever it's we trying to fix? Is there follow through? Don't just have. I'm thinking about myself. Just teach a class on whatever I'm teaching it on. What's the follow through on to make sure that the person that you're trying to help them accomplish this goal, let's do some follow through to make sure that we're doing the steps needed to get the success that we say we want. What's the follow through? Because vague problems create vague boundaries. Specific problems allow specific solutions. I'm going to say that again. Vague problems create vague boundaries. Specific problems allow specific solutions. Name the issue without attacking the person. Don't forget, remember, we're trying to solve a problem, not the person. Name the issue without attacking the person. It is so easy because, I always think about that all the time. Sometimes you're having conflict about a problem and both people are really wanting to solve the problem, but then all of a sudden we feel like we're losing in the argument. We feel like we're losing. And as soon as we feel like we're losing, and always remember this: if we are partners in this business, if we are partners in this relationship, there is no way in the world I should be tearing down the person that I'm in a relationship with. That should not be happening. But what happens is sometimes we feel like we're losing the argument, which there is no losing. It should be both people trying to accomplish the best answer to whatever this problem is, whatever that may be. But when you start attacking the person that you're in a relationship with and tearing them down, you really think that's going to make the relationship better? You really think that working on that project together is going to work out? Fam, we ain't attacking people. We're attacking problems and making sure we get solutions without tearing the other person down. So that's big. Number 4, balance truth and grace to stay on task. Truth without grace is harsh. I'm going to say it again. Truth without grace is harsh. Why is that? That's why when people be trying to beat other people down with the Bible, that be ticking me off. Okay. You're going to hell. Why are they going to hell? Because you probably didn't explain the love of God to them. More than likely. Okay. Yeah. Truth without grace is harsh. It really is. But grace without truth is dishonest. Okay, baby, sugar baby, it's going to be all right. If you keep doing that same thing, it's going to be detrimental to you. So that, sugar baby, it's going to be all right. That might not be cutting it. Okay. You keep on running fast as you're running and keep on falling. You're going to keep on getting hurt and hurt and hurt. It's the truth. So we got to guess what grace is there, but make sure you got truth with it. Healthy boundaries will hold both of those together. So when we say stuff, and I love when God said that in the scriptures, John chapter 1, verse, I believe 14. Please forgive me if that's the wrong one. And the word was made flesh and dwelled among us. And we beheld his glory, the glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Jesus was both. This means you say what needs to be said, but you say it with humility. That's big. You say what you need to say, but say it with humility. Say it with compassion. And say it with restraint, because right now you fuming, you hot as fish grease, and you want to say some stuff, but you restrain yourself. The goal isn't to win the argument. It is to protect the relationship and keep the conversation focused on the issue, not emotions spiraling out of control. Focus on the issue, not of the emotions spiraling out of control. So that's really big. And number 5. Apologize for your part of the problem. When you are setting healthy boundaries, you are becoming a healthy version of you. You're getting boundaries, you have to live up to your boundaries. And part of living up to your boundaries is to apologize for your part of the problem. This one takes maturity. It really does. It really does. Because we are so good at minimizing stuff. We are so good at projecting on the other people. What's the problem? And straight up, most of the problem is usually us. So we got to apologize for our part of the problem. Boundaries don't mean you always right. Sometimes your silence, your inconsistency, and avoidance contributes to the issue. Sometimes your silence. Remember, you should speak up in situations sometimes, but you're being quiet about it. Your inconsistencies. Remember, people, if they're watching you, they need to see the consistency of your life. And that could be a problem. And then avoidance. Stop avoiding stuff that you know you need to deal with. And that contributes to the issue. Ownership builds trust. Defensiveness destroys it. A sincere apology doesn't weaken your boundaries, it strengthens it. Fam, we ain't gonna always be right. We ain't gonna always be right. And part of when I say apologize for your part of the problem, when we talked about it before in the previous point, part of that the balance between grace and truth, fam, sometimes you gotta cut yourself some slack, because sometimes we are too hard on ourselves. So apologize, but you know what, man, I didn't put my best foot forward, and you talking to you. You know, I didn't shoot my shot. You talking to you. I didn't give everything I possibly had. You're doing you. I wasn't on time for what I needed to be on. You're apologizing to you. Sometimes we need to apologize to ourselves. Yeah, we need to let that thing go. We need to deal with some of that stuff, man. But all you can do is apologize for your part of the problem. You cannot be on the other side of the fence. Apologize for your side of the fence and the problems that you go to when it comes to boundaries. Number 6, avoid should've, could've, and would've. These phrases keep us stuck in the past. Healthy boundaries live in the present and move towards the future. Live in the present, move towards the future. I told you, how often do we typically use our reverse gear on our car? Well, we use it, but it's super temporary. Most of the time, we are trying to be in the present, which is being in the car, and we're driving towards our future. But fam, sometimes we spending way too much effort on coulda, shoulda, woulda. And when we do that, we are neglecting what's happening in the present moment. So healthy boundaries live in the present and move towards the future. Instead of saying you should have known, try, here's what I need going forward. Yeah, the person that blew it and it was in the past. Yeah, got it. From this point forward, this is what I need from you. Boundaries are not about replaying mistakes. They're about creating new patterns. That's the cool part about having boundaries. What's the new pattern that I'm trying to create? Remember I talked about sometimes what we do is, man, when we try new stuff, man, I don't know if this is going to work. A new pattern of thinking is, this is what's going to happen when this works. I'm already preparing for the good things that's going to come from this. So that is huge, family. Number 7, be an agent of change. Boundaries require actions, not just conversations. Committed action is such a huge thing. If nothing changes after the boundary is set, then the boundary wasn't enforced. It was just announced. And fam, anytime you set new boundaries in life with people and with yourself, man, you got to repeat that thing over and over and over. And I notice we ain't just saying repeat it out loud over and over again. It is doing it over and over again. Getting that new workout routine in order, getting that new diet set up, making sure you having a new sleep pattern. Guess what? I know I ain't been getting enough sleep. Let me make sure I get to bed at a certain time every night. Fam, I need to be an agent of change. I need to put this stuff into action. That's why you know our statement that we say every podcast, valuable information applied. Not just saying it, it's applying it. Being an agent of change means you adjust behavior. You adjust your access, because you know, fam, as you get older and you're getting on the road to where you want to be at, fam, it's going to be a little bit harder to access people when they're trying to be the best version of themselves. They used to give you all kind of access, but when you're trying to be the best version of you, fam, access is limited. It really is. And expectations when necessary. Yeah, I know you used to expect me to be there all the time, man, because, you know, I ain't had no job and I wasn't doing nothing, so we could hang out way longer than we did. But once I got a job, the expectations is, bro, I got to be at work I got to make sure I get enough sleep so I can be at work. I got to make sure I got enough energy to do what I got to do so I can be at work. We can't hang like we used to. Not out of punishment, but out of self-respect. Yeah, man, I got to do the things I need to do because I got to get to this next level. And, man, I got to make some sacrifices and change and give me some new boundaries from where I'm trying to go. Number 8, be specific. General boundaries create confusion. Instead of saying I need more respect, say I need communication before decisions are made. When we say I need more money, man, I need to make $50 more a day to get to this next level of trying to pay this car off in 2 years earlier than I. See, we got to say specifics. Man, I'm trying to lose this weight. I got to cut back on all these sugary drinks. I got to make sure I eat between the times of 11 and 8 o'clock because I'm trying to do this intermittent fasting. I want to make sure I'm being specific when it comes to the relationship. Babe, we going to make sure we spend this time together every day and accomplishing what we trying to accomplish. Notice it ain't just I need more time or I need more money or I need more, I'm trying to lose weight. Man, be specific when you're setting boundaries. Write that stuff down so you can see it in front of me. I'm trying to lose 5 pounds by the end of the month. And man, I got these 4 weeks. I'm trying to lose these 5 pounds. I need to lose 1.25 pounds a week. In order for me to lose this 1.25 pounds a week, I need to lose about 3 ounces every day, give or take. I need to make sure I'm cutting back on all these sugary drinks. I got to make sure I'm not going out eating fast food as much as I did before. I'm only going to allow myself 1 day a week to go out for fast food. I'm going to limit. See, notice we're being specific when it comes to the boundaries. Specific boundaries remove the guesswork and eliminate unnecessary conflict. Clarity is kindness to you. It's really big on that, bro. And then the last one, ladies and gentlemen, you got to differentiate between forgiving people and trusting people. This is critical. There's a difference that we got to differentiate between forgiving and trusting. Forgiveness is a decision. Trust is a process. Forgiveness is a decision. Trust is a process. You can forgive someone and still need boundaries. You can forgive someone and still require accountability. You can forgive someone and still move slower next time. Why is that? Because the trust ain't there, man. Forgiveness heals the heart. Trust is rebuilding through consistent behavior over time. Somebody let you down, fam, you're going to be a little less likely to trust them. It's going to take you some time to rebuild it. And there are certain people, man, you get one time, dog. After that one time and it happened, it's over. We always talk about that 3 strikes you out, man. We ain't playing baseball, dog. You going to get this one chance. And if you mess this one chance up, it's a wrap. So forgiveness heals the heart. But trust me, that's a process, fam. They are connected, but they are not the same. Okay? Forgiveness, one time, boom, I made a decision. But to get that trust, man, it's going to be a process that's going to help that thing get going. So boundaries aren't about pushing people away. You got to remember that. They're about teaching people how to engage with you in a healthy way. You don't just come up to me any old kind of way. Man, let me talk to me. I'll holler at you for a minute. Bro, you got some time so I can talk to you for a minute? Can I get 5 minutes of your time? Guess what? There's some respect there. There's some trust there. And the right people, the ones meant to stay, will respect that. If people are in your life and they can respect your boundaries, fam, that's a beautiful thing. But if they can't respect your boundaries, guess what? They revealed themselves to you that, guess what? They ain't got your best interest at heart. It's all about them. It's all about them. So if setting boundaries feels uncomfortable, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're growing. Every time I'm trying to do something new, fam, it don't feel comfortable at first. I don't care what that thing is. Anything I'm trying for the first time, bro, it feels uncomfortable. It feels off. I know in my heart and my mind this is the right thing to do, but my body is used to doing muscle memory and doing the same thing over and over again. Fam, it might feel uncomfortable at first to set these boundaries. And like I said, it doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. It means you're growing. So part of growing is, guess what? I'm changing my habits. And growth requires you stretching before you start to get strong. It's going to design for you to stretch before you can get strong. You're going to stretch, man. If I'm trying to be the best version of myself, I got to stretch past further than I think I can go. And then the strength is going to come because guess what? I'm setting a new pattern, a new groove. I'm setting a new lane for myself. And man, once this gets going, I'm going to feel better and stronger and better and capable of doing what it is that I want to do. But at the beginning, the growth always stretches us before it strengthens us. Always remember that. You're going to feel stretched because you're doing something that you've never done before. Fam, I love you guys. I don't want nothing but the best for you, man. Make sure you set them boundaries. I love you. God bless. What's up, family? If this podcast has inspired you, encouraged you, made you think deeper, or even just made you smile, then I have a simple ask. Would you consider supporting this work? Creating this podcast takes time, heart, and resources, from equipment and editing to outreach and hosting. Each episode is a labor of love aimed at lifting people up and speaking life into real situations. But I can't do it alone. Your donation, big or small, helps keep the meaning going and the message. It helps us grow, reach more people, and continue producing powerful content that uplifts, educates, and empowers. If you've been blessed by this platform, I invite you to sow into it. Help us keep the mic on and the message moving. You can give at Zelle or Cash App using the links in the description box. Thank you for being part of the journey. With gratitude, the Bacon Bits Podcast, where we speak life, purpose, and legacy, one episode at a time.